What's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, welcome to stream, guys. Yo, Manic Marcy, Inspector Magnetics, and Zurith. First in Twitch chat today. Zurith, thank you for resubscribing for 1 month to tier 1. Weave Chew, thank you for resubscribing for 6 months to tier 1. Cats Meow, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. What's up, guys? So today should be fun. In about an hour, we're going to be joined by Representative and Senate candidate Angie Nixon, who we're going to do a little virtual town hall for about an hour or so. Angie is she's served in the Florida House of Representatives. She's up for Senate. And if you don't know her, she was arrested in May because she dared go against DeSantis. So I figured I'd show you guys about that really quickly, because on God, I love the country we live in, right? And it's so great. So let me show you guys really quickly so that you know who we'll be talking to. You know, just to, you know. So let me put that on.
Nixon arrested after staging a sit-in for hours outside of Governor Ron DeSantis' office. Thank you for joining us for First Coast News at 6. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Jeannie Blaylock. We have brand new video posted on Nixon's social media account showing the sit-in. News Service Florida is reporting the protest began about noon. The representative's goal was to speak with the governor about affordability in Florida. 2 other protesters were also arrested a short time ago.
So this comes one day after Nixon was reprimanded for anti-redistricting protesting inside the Florida House chambers. Right now, we are working to learn what charges she's facing and if she's still in custody. We have reached out to her and her team. We've not yet heard back, but Nixon is also running currently for U.S. Senate.
What a crazy, you know, how great.
Jacksonville Democratic State Representative Angie Nixon got a formal reprimand from her colleagues this afternoon. I'm Jake Stofan.
I'm Tanika Hughes.
I love a good
It's for
reprimand.
her protest on the House floor during last month's vote to pass new congressional maps.
Now, I spoke with Representative Nixon before the hearing today, and she says she has no regrets.
I believe a reprimand is both appropriate and necessary.
I believe
No
you
one
suck
should take
balls.
pleasure in reprimanding a fellow member.
Those were the words of Fleming Island State Representative Sam Garrison before the House Committee on Rules and Ethics issued a formal reprimand against Jacksonville State Representative Angie Nixon. Garrison chairs that committee. The punishment resulted from Nixon's protest on the House floor last month ahead of a vote on new congressional maps. We spoke with Nixon ahead of the hearing.
Do you have any regrets about the way that you went about the protest on the floor?
Jake, I don't have any regrets about what I did.
Nixon says she was blindsided by the punishment, saying she was never informed ahead of the hearing and was not offered a chance to speak during it.
They don't want us to have a say. They don't want us to use our voice. And it's just a slap in the face, and it goes against democracy.
Garrison noted in the vast majority of cases, members who violate House rules are not punished. But in this case, where the disruption caused 2 members to vote incorrectly and another to seek medical attention for hearing damage, he felt it was necessary.
I don't think members like to do this because at the end of the day, they have to
poor
operate
little
the same
baby get
chamber
hearing
as
damage.
with their colleagues. So it is fairly rare.
JU political science professor Dr. Matthew Corrigan says the punishment might actually work to Nixon's advantage as she's leaving the House later this year to run for U.S. Senate.
Because Democrats want to fight right now. They want to take on Republicans.
Nixon violates House rules again. Prior to her exit from the legislature, she was warned she could face more severe consequences ranging from...
You know what's so funny is looking at the people in the chat. The left literally created the KKK. No, that was conservative right-leaning people. Please open a book. On God. Would love you to open a book. One book. One book could solve so many of these problems. Anyway, 219-327-8005 if you want to call in to debate. We have a couple of topics on the board until we're joined by Representative Nixon. Gender affirming care for minors, trans men and women are men and women. Trump is a terrible president. Capitalism is failing people, and Christianity is not true. Call in on any of those topics, brother. Call in if you want to debate. Well, what's so funny to me is when they do that, when they're like, the left started slavery. Which party wants to keep statues of slave owners up again? It's not my party. We want that shit torn down. Y'all are the ones who piss yourselves every time somebody's like, let's get rid of the Confederate memorials. Anyway, 219-327-8005. Oh, I need water. Oh, let me grab some water. I forgot my water. My cup. Gang, motherfucking gang. All right. Who's going to be the first person to call in? What do you guys want? Which topic do you want people to call in about the most? Take your picks. Can't believe I did that. Topic number 4, huh? I don't care that you guys don't like it. I love topic 5. I want someone to defend why Jimmy should not fuck their dads. Crazy. Really quick, Invisible Falcon, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Carly Beth, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. KY Fried Jelly, thank you for the gifted subs. And Atheist Gamer, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Witchfinder General Solomon Kane, thank you for the super chat. Next month's coffee stash contribution, thank you so much. And Armed Fro, thank you for the super chat. On vacation this week, gotta tune into my fave stream, AW. Mad Max, thank you for subscribing with Prime over on Twitch. Where's topic list? I see JD's Vance's cousin. Did YouTube shut down? Am I live on YouTube? Wait. What? Is my YouTube still live, chat? Oh, okay. That was weird. Oh, it's oh. I see what you're talking about. Okay, I hadn't turned off the sources. Okay, chat. Okay. Y'all had me weirded out. Like, what the fuck? I was like, what happened? I love topic 5, but that's just me. I'm just looking for either conservatives, Christians, or capitalists that can have genuine discussions. That's what I would like. You know? Someone that can have a genuine discussion would be great, brother. Do we think it'll happen today? That's a tall order, right? Nikolai, thank you for subscribing with Prime for your 4th month over on Twitch. Guess I shouldn't be too hopeful, you know. Someone say Charlie. We are Charlie. Nailed it. We are Jimmy Snow. We carry the line. Hashtag snow never melts. Hash motherfucking tag snow motherfucking never melts. All right, you get to talk about the topic, so they'll call MAGA doesn't read. Oh shit, you're right. Let's go over them real quick. Gender-affirming care for minors. All evidence points to the fact that gender-affirming care is both safe and effective treatment to treat severe gender dysphoria, and I believe minors should be able to access that safe and effective treatment. Topic number 2, trans men and women are men and women. They fit into the sociological categories of both men and women, and I can explain that if people call in further. Number 3, Trump is a terrible president. Need I explain this one? Do I need to explain this one? How much money did we lose in this war with Iran? Hashtag a lot of it. Need I go on? Topic number 4, capitalism is failing people. The bulk of the world is not thriving under capitalism. The bulk of the world is failing under capitalism. The bulk of the world struggles to have their basic needs met under capitalism. And Christianity is not true. Not in the biblical sense, not in the historical sense, not in the theology sense, not in any sense, not in the philosophy sense. It's just not true. Computer. Do you think Zoran is a moderate when it comes to policing? Maybe. Ever played From Darkness? No. Whew. Computer, I'm already tired. I already got a headache, computer. Played Horizon Zero Dawn a long time ago. I should play what? Oh, From the Darkness. Oh. It's the same people that make Kowloon. That might. You might be on something with that one. I ain't even finna hold you. What was I about to do? Oh, I remember. Amazing Digital Circus, episode 9. I was underwhelmed. I don't think it was bad by any means, but I was just a little underwhelmed. I wasn't expecting it to be the Jack show, you know? Has anyone got any good leftist phrases to embroider on a shirt with my new machine comes? I'm starting a list. I don't know. See the release in the Backrooms again with that extra 15-minute scene. I'll watch it on DVD. For Jovan's fake leftist, true. Fancy means of production you got here. Be a shame if somebody were to seize it. Did you watch Widow's Bay? No. Good old Jim Snow. Guys, there's 500 of you watching between both chats. On YouTube, there's 322 of you, but only 117 likes. Why is that? Hit that like button if you want us to get calls. Blow that like button up, chat.
Daddy, chill.
Come on. Daddy, chill. My tummy hurts. I'm gonna seize my pants is crazy. 200 people afraid to call in. True. Let's do a poll. Here comes our poll. Let's see if this feature works. I haven't even tested this feature in a while. Oh, that only ran on Twitch. Sorry, YouTube. You don't get a poll. Emily Dragon Queen, thank you for subscribing for tier 1 over on Twitch. Computer, make one of these scared ass little baby men call. Oh, YouTube did get a poll? Oh, well then this message lied to me. Okay, vote in the poll. Damn. Jumped down my throat, y'all. Maybe Twitch didn't get the poll. Did Twitch get the poll? Oh, Twitch didn't get a poll. Damn, Twitch, sorry. The disrespect. 219-327-8005. Oh, I was like, what the fuck is this? It's my car loan thing. It's funny that 6% admitted to not having brains. What's worse is I didn't get the poll info. Like the poll info didn't, like it ran a poll for you guys, but it didn't update me on the poll. 5% of you don't have brains? Yikes. Well, just finna be chilling, bro. Oh, by the way, for the virtual town hall, please call in to ask Angie questions. Here's how it's gonna work. Rep Nixon will be here. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to blow the phone line up like 10-15 minutes before she gets here. You're gonna, if you have a question, it'll be screened. You'll come up, you'll say your name, you'll say hello, you'll ask the question, then I'll immediately drop you so we can answer. We only have an hour with Rep Nixon, so I need y'all on your shit. Okay? On your shit. So Obsession, it's a big W. I think I've come around to the idea of Bear being full villain and no longer just antagonist. I watched it again, and upon a second rewatch, I think I'm fine with admitting he's not like just antagonist. You know what I mean? I was hesitant because of the way I view villains in film, but I do think this motherfucker goes full malicious. Timer should be on in 45 minutes, give or take. Guys, my brother will be in town in a few weeks. Should I try to get him on stream? I haven't watched Supergirl yet. No, a different brother. I think I'll like Supergirl more than most people, but I haven't watched it yet. This is a different brother. I actually don't know if this brother is religious. I've never actually asked him, but this is a different brother. The brother I debated was my half brother. This is like my full brother. Supergirl's a 6 or 7. It's a meh. Meh is not 6 or 7. Meh would be like a 4 or a 5. Where are we getting meh is 6 to 7? What is y'all's ratings of, how do y'all score your movies? How many siblings do I have? Like 14. Yeah. People are so scared to drop below a 6. Well, I don't understand it. If a movie gets a 6 or 7 to me, that's a good movie. 8 or 9, 8, 9, 10. Those are amazing, incredible ones. 6 or 7, like that's a good movie. 5 is very middle of the road. 3 to 4 is meh. 1 to 2 is terrible. I don't understand. Like, y'all. Raging Butterfly, thank you for subscribing over on Twitch with Amazon Prime. Do y'all know if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription for me? I don't think you knew that. Why is my call-in studio thing not... Well, it might be. I don't actually know if it's working yet. Oh, whoa. That's very interesting. I don't like that. Did call-in studio add video calling? I don't like that. I didn't read the newest update, but oh, maybe it just meant web. Brother. Yeah, calling studio had a video calling the web caller, but it's opt-in. I don't think I opted in. Did Jovan just ooh-woo? No, I don't ooh-woo without money. I mean, I guess that'd be a good way to do some debates, is if it's the web, if they do video on the web caller, but I got a pocket full of sunshine. Also, as long as Supergirl's a 6 or 7, that means DC is still hitting for me. Like, people are like, Marvel was so good at the beginning. The Hulk is like a 6 at best. Thor is like a 7. Why do you have to pay you just to ooh? You're paying me for my labor. So far, the DCU is 2 for 2. So if Supergirl makes it 3 for 3, great. Oh, this is crazy that it does this now. Very interesting. All right, we got a call. Oh, get underway. After watching Wonder Woman, I vowed never to watch another DC movie until they make one for Nightwing. Why? Wonder Woman was a good movie. I mean, the second Wonder Woman was crap. The first one was fine. All right, coming up to stream, we have Charles calling from California to talk about topic number 4, capitalism is failing people. Charles, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
29, he, him.
All right, Charles, I think capitalism is failing the people of the planet. Do you disagree? And if so, why?
I don't entirely disagree. You could probably have several points that you could probably make. Just to be good faith here, I could probably concede them. There are several pros and cons to capitalism as an economic system and how it's been integrated into our society. So I can state that I think it's a little bit of both, that it has done immense good for society, but I can also see where there are some failings.
What, like when you say it's done immense good for society, I think it did good as so far as it got us out of feudalism, but like that's probably where I'd end it.
Yeah, because that was before, and then we had industrialization, but before we had feudalism, and then it kind of just shifted around with the 16th, 17th century into like more like capitalists were showing up.
Yeah. So what good outweighs the massive amount of like wealth siphoning that's been going on between the the owner class and the worker class. What good outweighs that?
So you're thinking of it like the worker class, and then you have, I guess, so it'd be like the proletariat and the bourgeoisie kind of situation.
Yes.
Okay. Like I can concede that as far as for like the means of production, like how the idea of capitalism is supposed to, what it is supposed to be defined as, basically means that like, you know, you as the individual have like the ability to grow like your own personal wealth, right? But as far as like how it's been integrated, and there's this huge divide between the working class and the upper class, as far as like I guess the allocation of wealth, and where it goes, and kind of keeps people in certain groups, is one thing that I would concede as like the negative aspect of it.
Well, then, yeah, like I said, I'm just then confused I don't think the positives outweigh that in any relevant way, shape, or form.
Well, so I'm looking at it through like the lens of like where we came from and where we are now and what we have because of it, right? So like capitalists, since we moved from feudalism and the advent of capitalism and the integration of, you know, industrialization, and then we had the industrial movement, and how the means of production evolved over time. The capitalist kind of world view, I guess, the capitalistic economic system kind of goes hand in hand with that on how we have like the things we have today.
Okay,
as far as like
quick
I wanted to bring up.
quick question for you.
Mhm.
If I had like a plate of poop, right, and I gave you the plate of poop, and I said, "Hey, Charles, here's a plate of poop. Eat it." And you ate it, and you were like, "Oh shit, well, but I don't want to eat it." I was like, "Well, there's nothing else to eat." You're like, "Damn, this sucks. I gotta eat this poop." Now, if I came back and I took like, I don't know, 25% of the poop off the plate and gave it to you, you would say, "Yes, this plate is better than the previous plate you handed me, but it's still a plate of poop," right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Still said poop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a plate. Capitalism is
I
still a
mean,
plate of poop.
okay, so as far as like the advent of like social media is kind of something I wanted to touch on. Like without capitalism, you wouldn't be here on Twitch, you wouldn't be here on YouTube
Or
right now.
do you have no way to know that?
Well, okay, so I guess I can say that I'm taking like a logical leap here, but I think with
I wouldn't even
how
say it's logical. You're just you're taking a very speculatory leap. You're saying there's no way we could have gotten to computers without capitalism. That's not true. That's just you
not
assuming.
computers. Not computers. Like use of, like
I
because
would
of
say the same thing.
well, because of how basically the idea of like we went from small towns to cities, right? And then in order to communicate through like from cities to cities, and like the means of communication evolved as we evolved and we industrialized.
Humans would have had a need for communication as, like, first of all, industrialization and communication drives would have happened with or without capitalism. I mean, look at the USSR. The USSR wasn't capitalist, but they industrialized faster than any nation like ever has. So I don't know why we're saying that, like,
a lot of their industrialization was more so towards like the state, the government's needs and their wants and what they wanted, and so like it was for like the space industry, like aerospace,
yeah,
it was for like military.
whatever, like, yes, but the point I'm making is that capitalism didn't do that, right?
No. I'm saying that the social factor, like the the enterprise for what YouTube and Twitch, like all these things are the advent of somebody, like of a capitalist that comes in and says, okay, I want something to be profitable, and whether it's profitable or not, it's the business that they have, and it's not necessarily from the state side. Because like this, I get the social aspects from the state for the USSR and what they did and how they integrated, what like they industrialized quicker than anybody else. But like if that continued, I don't see the advent of things like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
You have no reason not to. You just keep saying, well, I don't know that you have no reason to believe this. None of the most of the things we use didn't start out as some capitalist product to earn a profit. So I don't know why I would believe that it would take that to continue them or to make new ones. Tom didn't make MySpace, or I'm sorry, Mark Zuckerberg didn't make Facebook because he wanted to like make a bunch of money. He did it so he could rank how hot the girls in his college were. That's not like capitalism innovation, right? That's just men being horny.
Yeah.
And most major innovations that happen in human history happen because we don't want to do work.
I get the same thing with YouTube. There was just a couple of guys that were trying to like, free video sharing,
Yeah, so I don't know why I would believe that I need capitalism for these things.
Because the infrastructure of industrialization and how industrialization
also doesn't need capitalism.
I'm saying the use for it.
Wait, but I've already answered you that there was a use for capitalism. Even Marx would say the same thing. There was a use for capitalism. It was getting us out of feudalism. That doesn't mean capitalism is good. Feudalism was good for getting us out of like what was it called? I don't remember the system prior to feudalism, but feudalism was good for getting us out of that system. But these systems have a life expectancy, and capitalism is well past its. It's only being held up through sheer power of force.
Okay, then I assume since you mentioned Marx, then the next course of action would be what?
The next course of, I think the next course of action is very clearly going to be socialism. Now you can say any form of political or economic system in which class distinctions are gone, but the next system after a system of capitalist class distinction is a system without class distinctions. Otherwise, you're just going to move to a system of hyper-class distinctions, and in which case, we're all fucked.
Do you think that socialism, do you think that socialism cultivates, like, this, like, acceleration that I'm talking about, where capitalism accelerated through its own system and
I think capitalism accelerated till it stopped accelerating. But yeah, what I don't believe that the economic system is what causes the acceleration of advancements. It's mainly humans being lazy. You know why we invented better ways to communicate? We were tired of sending letters. So we're like, shit, we need something better. We invented cars because we were sick of fucking horse-drawn carriages. Washing machines because we're sick of washing clothes. Most of the things that we advance is because we want to make a specific job easier on ourselves. That's what's going to do it. But the difference is capitalism is going to do it off of a profit incentive, and socialism is going to do it off of a needs-based incentive. We could dump a lot more money into R&D on curing some diseases if there wasn't a capitalist incentive to not cure diseases, right?
Okay, so the cap on capitalist system is the monetary gain, right? Like that's the cap, and it's arbitrary because it can just continuously be kicked down you can kick the can down the road, right? And you're saying that the socialist system, the cap on that would be it's a needs-based system, so it would only be for the individual or a community's needs.
It would only be for an individual. Yes, socialism is a needs-based system that's focused on the needs of the people. It's not focused on any profit incentive.
Okay, so there would be, okay, I'm just trying to process. There would be a cap for that too, but that would only be where the buck stops at when the needs are fulfilled.
There would be a cap for that too. Well, yeah, if we don't need something anymore, we're not going to continue to produce that thing because that would just be a waste of our resources like we do now. Do you know how much food waste exists in the world?
Yeah, a lot. Dude, I've worked in restaurants my whole life. It's
Yeah, it's
insane the
enough
amount of
to
food that gets thrown away.
it's enough to end world hunger like 10 times over.
Hmm. And I'm not even allowed to take any of it home.
Because of capital.
And I'm hungry.
I mean, there are still grocery stores that pour bleach on their food at the end of the day when they're throwing it in the dumpsters. Even though a lot of states have outlawed this, there's still some that do it. Because why would they give you the stuff for free? It's 1.5 billion tons globally. And actually, I don't think that's tons. What is TONNES? Is that still tons? Or is that a different metric? A metric ton. Sorry, yeah, it's a metric ton. Okay. So yeah, we 1 billion metric tons of food annually is thrown away. It's just wasted. Now, 60% of that is households, people who buy more than they need, right? So they just throw stuff away. Guilty, we all are. 28% of that is from like food services, so restaurants and things like that. 12% is from retailers. Like, this is still massive. Even 28% even 12% of 1 billion tons is a fuck ton of food.
So in regards to food waste, the cap right now is monetary. So it's the monetary incentive to continuously produce goods that basically just go to waste, right? As long as people are in need, people will buy, and then you can continue to manufacture in excess. It doesn't matter if it's waste or not, right? They just will continue to produce these goods. And a socialist system, it would be up until, like I said, like the needs are met. Like you'd only have waste up to a certain criteria, whether that be if somebody doesn't eat as much as the next person.
If we're looking at like food waste, like household food waste, the best way to combat that would be to only sell things in single servings. That's our issue, is we sell things in bulk. Capitalism doesn't care how much something wastes. Like if I'm running a grocery store, I don't care how much food is wasted as long as it's paid for, right? Whereas instead what it should be is like, hey, let's just divvy up what people need evenly. And like if they need more, they can come and get more, obviously, but let's like just take what you need. I've started doing that. I go to the grocery store every day. I've started to just buy my food. It's like perishable stuff. Like obviously, if it's something I'm keeping in the freezer, then it doesn't really matter. But like perishable stuff,
Right.
like I'll just go and buy what I'm gonna make that day. And I've tried to limit it to just like a serving or two. I mean, I have my mom and my grandmother and stuff at my house, so I'll tend to cook a little bit more just for them. But like usually I try to like limit what I'm getting to just a serving or two, because like I was tired of throwing food away. I throw away a fuck ton of food.
No, I get it. It's just me and my wife, and we only ever buy groceries maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but it's very single servings. Like we'll spend like maybe $60-$80, and that'll be enough to cook like 2 or 3 meals for the next day. And then that's basically all. We don't go and buy, $300-$400 worth of groceries, shove it in the fridge, and then half of it just goes to waste. Yeah.
And by the way, this is not a problem in a lot of places in the world. There are like Japan, for once, is very good about food waste. There are a lot of countries that are very good about food waste. The U.S. is not one of them.
No, but they're capitalist. So where's the disconnect?
It's just that they're better at food waste. Like their culture is such in which they don't buy in excess like we do.
So they can still have a capitalist economic system, but the culture is what is driving the food waste.
No, because we're just talking about household food waste. They still throw stuff away because it doesn't sell. They still do all of that. We're just talking about household food waste. And or whether they're able to, whether they adequately recycle their waste is another one.
Yeah. Well, they're a very like same day, like kind of like food oriented. Like a lot of the food that they have is like really fresh.
Like if we're gonna talk
Fresh
about like
from
how do we solve food waste in an American like in the current system that we have, then like my go-to would be charge by weight. Like up to a certain amount you have free trash services. Past that, like you food waste specifically. Past that you're charged a little bit, and then that goes towards some type of community fund. And me personally, I would put it towards community kitchens and pantries and things like that.
So almost like an incentive system, but instead of it being like an incentive, it's more like you're incentivized to not waste food because we're
Correct.
going to put a fee on the amount of food that you waste.
Correct. That's if I were to try to change the system as is now.
Right, as it currently is in our own economic system. Okay. I could see that as like, because granted, like I work in the food industry, so I see a lot of food coming in and out of places, and a lot of it goes to waste. And I completely agree. Like spending $14, $15 on a plate of food, and then it just doesn't get like half eaten, leftovers go home, and it's just wasted. And it's just like the cost of that has already been paid for, so they don't care.
There's also so much we could do. Like community kitchen should become a bigger thing, right? It should be the case that like, hey guys, we have a few community. Like if I were to be building a town or a city, my town or city in every zip code in walkable distance from people would have a community kitchen where it's like, hey, you don't have to cook tonight. Come to the community kitchen, eat with the rest of us, right?
Right.
Here are free meals for the community. You don't have to eat here, right? You can go home and make whatever you want to make. But we also have a community kitchen where you come and you sit down and you eat. You get to know the people in your community. We need to be having walkable communities, walkable cities. We need there needs to be a hospital and a grocery store in every zip code. Again, walkable. You should be able to walk to these things from wherever you are or have adequate public transportation. I'm even fine with bikes littered around the place. Just free bikes that anyone can ride, right? There's a million things we can do to better our current capitalist system, but even those won't be done because they're not beneficial cost-wise to the people who would need to pay for them. So they're like, well, why would I throw bikes on the ground for people to ride for free when I can charge you $5 a minute to rent my bicycle, right? Even though providing people with free transportation would get rid of the cars on the road and make it safer to walk places, like it would decrease emissions, it would do all of these things. Why would I make cities and give people these walkable resources when I said I can build a data center and make a fuck ton of money off of it?
Right. No, I don't own a car. I take the bus everywhere. And where I am in California, it's like $2 for a bus ride. And if you hop on another bus within like 90 minutes, it's free. You just can do it again. You can continuously keep like riding the bus around town. So for me, I get the whole like point of like public transportation and like the infrastructure of that.
Mm-hmm.
I see a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to like, I think I get a little hung up on the advent of things. And I get a little hung up on how we get to certain like goals that we have. And I feel like there's a lot of like excess that we don't necessarily need. But I also feel like that's sometimes what the capitalist system kind of incentivizes is like innovation and like competition.
So I would
like
disagree. I disagree on both of those things. Capitalism hates innovation. It hates competition. I mean, look at like up until the advent of AI, right? AI has sort of revitalized people's idea of like, oh, let's there are a few things in recent memory that have revitalized people's idea of like, oh, let's start to innovate a little bit. VR, AR, and AI are those three things, right? Now, AI, I would say, has not been doing great innovations outside of like medicine, right? Large model AIs that are just used to scan data and collect and sort data, like especially for science and medicinal purposes, is actually pretty great. But AI like has been used in a lot of places. It's not the best. VR and AR also pushed some innovations. I mean, now I think those innovations have been very stagnant, like to the point that it's kind of crazy VR technology hasn't advanced past where it's at yet. But that's mostly because Facebook has been blocking a lot of VR advances because they just put out their Meta, right? They put out their Meta Quest 3 and they're like, well, we don't want you to advance too quickly because then our MetaQuest VR headset 3 is now out of date and people won't buy it. Right? They can only put out one headset a year potentially. Look at the iPhone. The iPhone doesn't innovate worth a goddamn. The iPhone 18 or the iPhone 17 is the same as the 16, same as the 15, same as the 14, same as the 13. Like there are little tweaks like, oh, longer battery life and blah, 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 blah. But even Apple, like I think it's the iPhone Air is like one of their most durable phones of all time. They don't sell the more expensive ones to be that durable. They don't give it the expensive ones, the aluminum siding and all that. You know why? Because then they would break less. They don't want them to break less. They want people to break them, so they buy. What's the point of selling Apple Care if your products don't break?
No, I agree.
You remember the iPhone 5?
Planned obsolescence?
The iPhone 5 was the most indestructible phone I've ever owned. My iPhone 5, God, if I could have an iPhone 5 that worked with modern OS, I would do it. That thing was a brick. Nothing. I didn't even put a case on it. It was such a indestructible phone. Now, everything is made on the cheap, so you do break it. There are a few companies that still put out stuff that, last, but like most companies are like, yeah, I don't want to make this with good material that'll last people because I want them to buy more from me. I wish I could remember. There's a company that does this basically, but off of like lost things. Like they pray people lose stuff so they can just buy the replacements. And I wish I could remember what company it was. Like they make so much money off of just replacement parts, but I can't remember.
No, I can see that that is like a dystopian, and granted it's our reality, but that is like the end of the line of this capitalist kind of framework, kind of just getting out of hand. When these companies just start to basically push out cheap products, but you have to pay a premium for, and they're just banking on the fact that you're going to continue to buy them.
That's capitalism, my friend. That is capitalism working the exact way it intended, which is to maximize profits at any cost.
Exactly. And that's the part where I was telling the screener, like, I agree to an extent. Yeah, I can concede that, that's not great system. I do think that with a lot of, like, especially government oversight and the advent of, I think the patent program needs to be revamped a little bit and kind of worked around in order to actually incentivize people to,
But I mean, we only need
innovate.
patents. We only need patents because of capitalism. Patents wouldn't be needed if like wealthy companies, if we didn't need money to live. If I didn't need to earn my living through monetary incentives, right? If my needs were just met and I created something really good, I could just give it to the world. But you can't do that now. Because when you do that, some company is going to take your idea and profit off of you for it. Or they're going to buy your patent with a patent holding company and never release the product because the product is better than what they're putting out. Capitalism is a plague. So, yeah.
I can see. Yeah, I can see. I can definitely understand that.
Real talk. Well,
I
then,
just don't necessarily know, like.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, continue. Oh, I was just gonna say I don't necessarily see when you'll say that if like we didn't have money and things didn't cost anything and everything was just to our needs. I just don't know. I can't wrap my head around. I might not be smart enough. I can't think far enough ahead to think like what would that actually like look like.
So think back
for everyone.
So don't think ahead, think back. We didn't, like, indigenous tribes didn't use money. They did trade often for resources. They didn't have money. Money was not a part of their system. No matter who you were in their tribe, you ate. Didn't matter who you were. And they, like I said, like you didn't cook your food at home. They the community ate together, right? There's no reason. The only reason we have money is just to stand in for the value of labor. It doesn't need to exist. It only exists because we can underpay people for their labor. If we couldn't underpay people for their labor, money wouldn't exist. You get it, got it. Yeah, you get it.
I'm getting it. I'm just like, I'm trying to think of like counters, not to be like bad faith or anything, but just to try to like understand these hypotheticals and understanding like tribe system how it worked before. I don't know. Like, if you're ostracized from your community and you don't have the means because you can't provide for yourself and you're reliant on the community to provide for you, and the incentive for the community to provide for you isn't there, maybe they just don't care about you, then how do you get fed? If you don't have
why wouldn't the community care about you?
Maybe you look funny. Maybe they just
Maybe
don't
you
like you.
look
Maybe you were
funny.
born on the wrong month.
What?
Maybe you're. I just finished watching Sheep Detectives. Maybe you're a winter lamb.
Whoa, stop, don't spoil it. I've heard good things. I want to watch
okay.
it. But
great.
I don't
You should
understand.
watch it.
I don't understand this idea where, like, well, if people stop caring about you, you won't get your needs met. You'll starve. Right now, if people don't care about you, you don't get your needs met. You starve. Like, that's what capitalism does currently. Capitalism, doesn't matter whether you're like, capitalism doesn't protect you at all. Doesn't matter if whatever. It's just not going to protect you. Period. So, like, yeah, I'd rather a system in which maybe there's the off chance some ugly dude doesn't get his needs met, right? But at least everybody else does. Whereas right now, there are millions upon millions of people. I'd probably say at least a billion whose needs, if not more, whose needs aren't met.
So that would be a conversation for when this system gets implemented. Of like, okay, well, now the system's implemented. Everyone's providing for their communities based on their community's needs. But we have some outliers, and then we
two each according to their ability, or I'm sorry, two each according to their need, from each according to their ability. That's the rules of life we need to live by when it comes to providing. People do what they can to provide for their community, right? And then beyond that, people, I forgot about that. Beyond that, people are given what they need to survive. I'm not going to question if I'm running a community food kitchen, right? And someone's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I really need more potatoes this week." I'm like, oh, why would I question that? Here, take more potatoes. We have plenty. We have billions of food waste. Take the potatoes. Take whatever you need. As long as you're giving back to your community in some way, shape, or form, take what you need. You can sit if you want, Steve. Producer Steve is here, everybody. Take what you need. I don't get the, like, we're in a system now where if God forbid something happens, most Americans can't afford a $500 emergency expense. You know what happens to them? There is no needs met for them. They're just fucked. That's bad. That's terrible for everybody involved.
I don't have health insurance. I just had to go to the urgent care like 3 weeks ago actually, and
brother,
I had a virus. I got pneumonia.
Brother, see what I mean? See what I mean, brother?
And it was expensive, and I had to take out fucking Cash App loans just to pay for it.
See? Why? Like, the fact that you can take a loan out on Cash App, brother, is peak capitalism. Hey, and I guarantee you them loans is predatory. Guarantee it.
Yeah, I think it's at like 10%.
See?
APR, something like that.
Brother, see? But anyway, Charles, we are at time for this call. I will thank you for calling in. If you want to call in the future, feel free. But yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, have a good one. Brother, ooh, capitalism, brother, ooh. Guys, we really don't have time. I mean, there is an office hours question we could get to, but we're about to Angie will be here soon. Hopefully, it's raining and storming, which sucks. Steve, come test out this mic with me, for me. Steve. Can you guys hear me? Hello. You treated me bad. Start calling in with your questions for Rep Nixon, please. Start calling in with those questions, chat. This is a virtual town hall, so I need as many of you to call in with that as you can. So please don't be like this, chat. Call in, okay? I swear to God, if you guys don't call, if you embarrass me, if you motherfuckers embarrass me and you don't call in, I swear to God. I swear to God, chat. I swear to God, chat. If you embarrass me right now, I'm ending stream. I'm quitting. I will never stream for you again. How's that? I need to adjust a setting real quick. So if you're on the line, just wait until the thing is over, and then I need to make a be right back button so that when I need to be right back, I can be right back. Chat, why do I feel like you're going to embarrass me right now? You're going to embarrass me, aren't you? Yo, is this for real? Are y'all for real going to embarrass me like this? No shot, bro. I thought you loved me. I'm going to remember this. When you guys are like, Jovan's not streaming today. Why not? I'm like, wonder why. I'm at work. I don't care. 219-327-8005. We're waiting on Rep Nixon. I'll take this office hours question while we wait. Coming up, for office hours, we have Diogo. I think it's pronounced Diogo. They'll tell us, from Portugal, with an office hours question. Is it pronounced Diogo? Did I say that right? Or is it Diego?
It's pronounced, greetings, Jovan. Greetings to everyone in chat. It's actually pronounced Diogo. It's like if you had an extra O at the end. Yeah, but you pronounce it as if it had an additional O at the end.
Okay, no problem. And Diogo, your pronouns, please.
He, him.
All right. And you had an office hours question. So yeah, no, go ahead. What's your question for me, friend?
Yes. So basically, my question was about how to address people who want to talk about you, to you about socialist experiments of the past. My issue is that basically the Red Scare has destroyed most people's perceptions of what socialism or communism actually are. And myself, I think that most socialist experiments of the past were actually state capitalism. And by that, I mean that instead of the workers being the owners of the means of production, the state, and therefore the party, was the owner of the means of production. Do you understand why I make this distinction?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Just in general terms, whenever anybody wants to talk to me about like failed socialist experiments, I just ask them what was the United States' role in that experiment failing. So like, if they're like, oh, let's talk about Cuba. I don't know you want to go that route, because why is Cuba the way it is? Why did Chile end up the way it did? Why did Iran end up the way it did? Almost every time we point to a socialist place, they love to use like the USSR, or they love to use I can't get my fucking audio thing to open. They love to use the USSR, or they love to use like China or these other things, and it's just like, yeah, those are great examples, but literally every single other example, you're going to find that the United States engaged in imperialism to shut down a socialist experiment. So why don't we just call a spade and like stop acting like socialism fails
Well,
because of socialism?
The socialist experiments were influenced by that. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I fucked up my audio thing. If you could repeat what you said one more time.
I understand, and I usually tell people that there was outside interference with those socialist experiments, and that influenced a lot of on why they couldn't make it. But the thing is, most people's perceptions is exactly that. The state will become the controller of the economy and therefore control over the people. So I understand the approach from democratic socialism. That's what I consider myself to be, at least. The shortest route that I want to go to is democratic socialism. But what I find to be the issue is that here in Europe, for example, here in Portugal, we've been living basically in social democracy, and it's still capital controlled. The thing is that you have to tax things in order to provide public services, and you can't tax the companies because they won't get to invest. Therefore, you about how the government rules things. That's why I believe there has been a rise on the far right across Europe, because it's a mixture of failed social democracy with the Red Scare that's been happening in the past, and people don't want to be the USSR, so they want to be under control by something that is closer to their values. And that's mainly why I have this issue about socialist experiments of the past and how to address them to people to change their perspective on what socialism and communism are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I think you've already got a pretty solid way about it on you. You know what I mean? I don't know that there's much I can add for you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I mean, I would love to. I just don't know what I don't know what else to add. You've got a really solid grounding on it.
And
you know
that's the thing as well, because I think that this should come as a warning to the state. I think that you're actually getting to fight back on the fascist version of the US, and the younger generation has been much more open to socialism and communism. Sorry, for the mere fact that they weren't as exposed to the Red Scare as the older generations were. So the only thing is, I think it should work as a warning that social democracy is not enough. We actually need socialism. My approach would be something like make it so that every company is forced to be by the state a co-op.
Make so that every company is forced to be a co-op.
Yes. It becomes written in law that upon a certain size, whether it be how much it's worth in the stock market or the number of workers, from that point on, it has to be a co-op. It can't be privately owned.
Yes, I don't.
This I believe would
disagree.
be. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I think this would be the best way to actually. I think this is the best way to actually push back on capitalism, because I don't think that until people realize that capitalism has to be removed, I don't think the only options really are fascism or full-blown socialism, communism, and whether that comes from what I call state capitalism or actual socialism, that's something that we would have to work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I
But
don't think we have
I
many.
don't.
I don't think. Yeah, I think we're pretty much in alignment on that.
Oh, okay. Thank you for taking my call. I really love this show. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it still weird for you that you get calls from like random places across the world, like in my case?
No, I'm pretty used to it.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I would. I think I would be overwhelmed if here in Portugal I got a call from like, I don't know, random country in like Asia or something. I don't know if I
Yeah.
had my own stream. But just to say, I love your content. I love the line as well. Keep up the good work. You're doing very good work, I believe. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you for taking my call. See ya.
Hey guys, I gotta go on a Be Right Back screen until we get Rep Nixon in here. Please call. Please call. I mean, I guess I can just talk to her, like, but it would be really cool if you guys called. Like, it would just be like a cool, you know, it would be cool if she got some audience questions. I would like it, you know, it would be awesome. But we're gonna do a quick Be Right Back screen, and then we'll be back after that. Okay? Okay, I'll be back. Thank you. All right. Yo, 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 yo. Hey, guys. Hey, we're back. Hey, chat. Let me press that for you so I don't mute you. And then just turn that around so they can hear you. Oh, there we go. Now they're able to hear you. Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome in. This is Rep Nixon. For those of you who were here earlier, we did watch you with the bullhorn. Because I wanted people to see that.
Okay.
And I also saw that one of your fellow representatives going, I had hearing damage. It was
nowhere near her. I was nowhere near her. Just disrespectful, the lies. That's the same woman that filed the Charlie Kirk Day of Remembrance Act.
Was it really? Oh my God.
Yes, that Emma Roach. Yes. So she was already upset at me because I went off on her.
Actually, I love that for a million reasons. Guys, if you want to call in to ask, let me actually put the call-in number on screen like it usually is. If you want to call in to ask Rep. Nixon any questions, you can. I will be asking questions because y'all know me. Y'all know I wore my Congressional Black Caucus shirt today. So for anybody that doesn't know the CPC, where is my call-in number? You'd think I did this for a living or something. Call in, guys, 219-327-8005 if you have any questions. If you're in the queue waiting on debates, you're just going to have to wait. Debates will have to wait. We're doing other questions right now. I know for a fact, right off rip, that they are going to want to know your stance on a few things.
That is fine. I am not the candidate in the race that runs from questions. I answer them.
Beautiful. I'm going to go down my list of just my bang, 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 bang that I ask every candidate. Okay. Just take your mic, hold it up a little bit.
Hold it up so you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, that sounds
This
way
is
better.
my first time like streaming like this, so excuse me. And
No, that's so much better. And that when you have it that close, it cuts me out a bit more so that they don't hear me coming into both mics. All right, are you ready for the rapid fire?
Yes.
Bang, bang, bang. All right.
I'm so distracted though. Like I see the Simpsons in the background.
I got a lot of stuff.
Yes, it's so cool. Like my inner nerd is coming out. My blurred.
I first of all, we love a blurred.
Yes.
Okay. Hashtag blurreds in the chat, everybody. You would think this is something cool, but it's just a bug salt gun that I bought at Walmart for $13 to shoot flies with.
Okay. I didn't know that existed.
Everybody
Let me go
should
ahead
get
and cop
bug
one of
salt
those,
guns.
but not from Walmart because I don't shop there and I don't support them exploiting their workers.
Let's go. I unfortunately, this is the only place that takes it's one of the only pharmacies that takes my insurance. So I'm like, if I'm there.
That's why I support Medicare for all.
Oh, okay. Question number 3, already knocked out. Medicare for all. We did it, chat. We did it, Joe. All right, let's go through the tough ones.
Okay.
Let's go through the tough ones. Funding for Israel in the genocide.
So I think it's really important to highlight that throughout my adult career that I've always fought for the humanity and safety of all people. I don't like Netanyahu. I believe that he is a war criminal. I don't like Donald Trump. And so I don't trust Netanyahu. Therefore, I don't want to send any money over to Israel.
All right, beautiful. W, chat. Can we get some W's in the chat for the answer? Pull your chair in a little bit too if you want. There we go. We go.
A little closer.
W. So we're good on that. You already answered Medicare for all. Brilliant. Beautiful. Should billionaires exist?
No. And we just produced the world's first trillionaire. Meanwhile, there are people who have, sacrificed their lives and put their lives on the line. Some veterans that are living homeless on the street. There are teachers that are living in their cars. There are too many people that are struggling right now, and we're producing billionaires and trillionaires. What that means to me is that you exploit your workers. What that means to me is that you are probably one of those executives of the 88 companies that made over $105 billion last year and paid absolutely zero in federal taxes. Meanwhile, your girl over here, who is a mother of 5 and a wife, I am now on a payment plan to pay the IRS $12,000. And so that's crazy that they didn't have to pay anything. So we need to close corporate tax loopholes, and we need to make sure that billionaires and millionaires pay their fair share.
I am in the same boat tax-wise, but I mean, I'm self-employed, so I'm screwed every tax year.
It's crazy.
But the fact that I'm paying out more than a lot of these companies is
that part.
Gross. Oh, is my YouTube thing still the BRB? Oh, shoot. YouTube, you just listening? You ain't even... YouTube, why nobody told me? YouTube, it's actually, you know why? It's probably because I'm not looking at the screen.
Same with Instagram.
There's so many screens. This is y'all. Like, this is amazing. I feel like I'm at NASA or something.
What am I looking for? I'm looking for
Your
something.
sleep right
This is what I'm
there.
looking for right here. Boom. Then we're gonna go boom, and then we're gonna go.
This is amazing what he's doing.
to
I see why y'all
20.
keep doing this type of stuff. It's
Boom.
like
There we
a
go.
rush. It's like a
Nailed it.
sugar rush right now.
It's the same. Instagram sees whatever YouTube sees. We got it. Instagram. So sorry, chat. At least the working
Sorry,
one.
chat.
This is a working man stream. Okay. We do this all off the cuff.
Hey,
All
chat.
off cuff.
I love that saying. What up, chat?
I've
What it do though, chat?
I've unfortunately started doing it in real life. Like, if I see something crazy, which is why I tell Steve when we go to the socialism conference this year, because bang bang, massive socialist. When we go this year, we need to live stream the whole thing, so I can actually, when I see something cool and I go, hey chat, I could actually be talking to chat.
You're gonna be talking to the chat.
I can
yes.
actually be
You gotta
talking.
talk to the chat. That's right.
We have some calls, so let's see. Let's bring them up to see what they got to say. Kay from Oregon. Kay from Oregon, 33, wants to ask you a question. Kay, you are on with Jovan and Rep Nixon. How are you doing today? Oh, Kay, I can't hear you. Kay, you there? Or is it me?
Hello? I
Oh,
had to
there
be-
you go. There you go. Hey, Kay.
I'm not hearing anything quite yet.
Oh, hello, Kay. Kay. Oh. Hey, Kay. I was muted for
hello.
you. My bad. Hey, Kay, you're on with
It's
Jovan
all
and Rep Nixon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How about y'all?
Oh, never complain. Except always.
Chilling.
What is your question?
Well, I'm over here in Oregon, and I'm just kind of been.
No,
Oh.
hold on. I thought I turned them on for you. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, now
Perfect.
I've got everybody turned on. Now restate your question, Kay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jovan. So my question, Representative Nixon, was just I've been curious if there's anything that you believed when you started politics that has changed over time.
Let me think about that. I would say I believed that you had to be a certain type of politician. I mean, I know that's not necessarily, oh my God, it's a lot of feedback. Okay. Yeah, sorry. That is very distracting.
No, it's all good.
So no, I would just say that it is more so like not ideologically, but I just believe that you would have to be this really cookie cutter elected official. You have to talk a certain way. You have to walk a certain way to be successful. But that's not the case. You can actually just be yourself, and I am unapologetically myself right now. And I learned this after dealing with really MAGA Republicans in Florida's state house, and they would. When I got there, I went to one of the leaders and I said, "How can I be successful in this process?" And they told me that, "Oh, you can either be an advocate or you can bring money home." And I was like, "What?" I mean, I should be able to do both. And he told me, do you think you're smarter than everyone? Do you did you think you were gonna come up here and change things? That's the way the game is played. And so when I learned that, when he said that to me, I left crying because I was so frustrated. And I told myself then and there that I would be nothing but myself and be someone who just represents people despite whatever, because I'm not going to allow you all to just give us scraps of scraps of scraps. I decided then and there that day that I was going to be a fighter, and I wasn't just going to take what they gave us. I was going to work hard for what my community needed and demanded.
Understood. Yeah, I feel like that's something that I'm seeing a lot more in politics is politicians. Well, I mean, few and far between, but they're coming out being a lot more authentic, and it's honestly like making it a lot easier to stay in politics and stay, connected and paying attention. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's great when we're seeing folks like the mayor of Baltimore, the mayor of New York, who are unapologetically themselves and unapologetically like investing in people and programs and not investing in uh, corporations and billionaires, right? And so when we
Hmm.
invest in people and programs, we can see changes for the better of the entire community. And the problem is right now here in our country, amongst Republicans and Democrats, is that the consulting class, the corporations, the corporate like they're the establishment, they are bought and paid for in both major parties. And so that is honestly why I am not the establishment pick here in the state of
Hmm.
Florida. I am just someone who is homegrown, and hardworking everyday people are my supporters and endorsers and not the consultant class and those corporate Dems.
That that makes sense. I really appreciate you taking the question and taking the time to go through it.
Hey, thanks for calling us, Kay.
Yeah, of
Thank
course. Have a
you.
great rest of the stream. I'll be watching. Bye.
Bye.
And I'm pretty sure I fixed all the audio stuff now. I am fairly certain
Thank
I
you, because
fixed it.
that was throwing me all the way off.
Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure I got it now.
Yeah.
There are multiple people calling in. Let's bring up another person. We got Pillow calling in from Washington to ask a question. Pillow, you know the rules. You literally work here. What's your question for Rep Nixon, Pillow?
Yeah, hi. I have two questions. One is if you could snap your fingers and change three things about the Democratic Party, what would it be? And my other one is just what is your overall stance on immigration?
Yeah, so if I could snap my fingers and change the Democratic Party, it would have more folks in leadership that look like just regular hardworking everyday people, construction workers, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, nurses, teachers, doctors, um, uh, what else do people do? Just all the working class jobs, like those would be the leaders instead of again this consultant class. And so that's what I would do for the Democratic Party. In regards to immigration, so I am someone that supports the abolishing of ICE. I hear myself again.
Really?
I'm someone who supports the abolishing of ICE. I also support comprehensive and compassionate immigration reform. And what I mean by that is, I believe, are we frozen?
Mm-mm.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out where you're hearing it. I have all the audio there turned off.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I support comprehensive, compassionate immigration reform. And
Oh,
oh, okay, that's what it is. Sorry,
yeah.
I was
No,
like
that's me. I wasn't.
so confused. Okay. And so what that looks like is, instead of spending $170 billion and giving it to DHS like they just passed a few months ago, that money could go towards modernizing the immigration process, the system, and getting rid of the backlog of folks. People need a really true pathway to citizenship. There are too many people, too many mixed status families here in our country that continually have to like pay to renew their ability to stay in our country, and so we need to make sure that that is not a thing. Also, just looking at what's about to happen in 2 days with the ending of TPS for members of the Haitian community. The Haitian community here in the state of Florida, they contribute $2.6 billion a year here in our state. The Haitian community are doing jobs that have massive work shortages. They are in the healthcare industry, they're in the hospitality industry, they're in the agricultural industry, and They're not taking people's jobs, which is what Republicans want us to think. No, they are doing jobs that have massive shortages, and the shortages are only gonna get not massive shortages. Yes, no, wait, we need people there. So yes, they're doing jobs that like we need more folks in, and so when they have to leave potentially, we're going to need even more people in those jobs. And so I fear that people are going to potentially die, uh, patients, because there's not enough healthcare workers. And some businesses are going to close down because they're going to lose some of their staff, and so that's what's going to happen. And then also, like, I am afraid that Black people are going to be targeted and racially profiled even more, like we saw in Minnesota with brown people, with Latinos, and with uh you know Muslims and things like that, how they started targeting people. They're going to do that here in the state of Florida, and they're going to weaponize that agency and potentially shoot and kill people like what we saw in Minnesota. And also, when it comes to abolishing ICE, like, we have agencies that can take care of trafficking, right? We have the DEA that can handle the drugs. We have the FBI that can handle the sexual trafficking and that type of stuff. We don't need money going to agencies for grift, because that's all it is. They try to make it seem like they were doing all this mass deportation, when in all reality, what they were doing was mass detention. And they were doing mass detention is because these detention centers are privatized, and they're privatized, and the vendors of these privatized detention centers and the privatized prisons that we have here in the state, they are campaign donors of Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. They spent over $500 million of our taxpayer dollars here in the state of Florida standing up a raggedy ass tent city and naming it Alligator Alcatraz. Okay. They spent over $219 million in porta potties. That's a whole lot of shit. I can cuss on this show, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's a whole lot of shit. $219 million on porta potties. And these jobs, these gigs, these contracts went to their campaign donors with no bidding. Like, it was no bid contracts. So they decided who they wanted to give those contracts to, and they let it ride. And what it's telling us right now is that Florida is for sale and our country is for sale. And so right now, in this moment, we need to do things differently. We need to send people, bold fighters, to Washington, D.C., who have a backbone and who are willing to push back against the corporate class and consultant class in D.C.
I also want to shout out the is it Miccosukee, the tribe that got Alligator Alcatraz essentially shut down. Like, that's the shit. Like, you want to people will constantly be like, well, how do we stop all these things? Right now, it's federal lawsuits. It's like they sued and they nailed it. Pillow, did you have a second question, or what was your second? I know you said you had two.
That was both of my two.
Oh, heard. Okay. Thank you, Pillow. See you later,
Bye,
bud.
Pillow.
Pillow is one of my mods and call screeners. We love Pillow over here. Also, shout out to Winnie for screening today. Julian calling in from England. What's up, Julian? You are on with Jovan and Rep Nixon. What is your question?
Hello. So I am interested to hear your thoughts on like fair representation at the federal level, because obviously you're running for U.S. Senate, and every state, well, Wyoming gets the same 2 senators that Florida does. There's similar issues with the Electoral College, as we've seen in the last few elections. And, as you probably know, some states are aiming to put together an interstate compact to accept the popular vote. And if enough states do that, then the Electoral College becomes negated. So I'm just curious, what sort of things do you think, how can we make federal representation fairer so that, because land doesn't vote?
Yeah, for sure. I am totally supportive abolishing the Electoral College. I believe we need to move towards the popular vote. I also believe that Washington, D.C., they deserve representation. They don't have it. And any other of our territories, yes, brain freeze. If they want statehood, like if they want it, let's allow them to have it. I am so anti colonization, colonialism, get rid of those colonizers. Colonizers caused my people to be stolen from their country and brutally beaten here to the point where I don't even know exactly where my people are from. And so, yeah, I totally believe in fair representation, which is one of the reasons that I decided to pull out that pink bullhorn, right? Because Ron DeSantis and the Republicans here in the state of Florida, they decided they wanted politicians to choose who their voters were and not allow the people to choose who would represent them. So I have also been nothing but consistent, because that was not the first time that I disrupted House proceedings. I had to
Any
do it in 2022 as well.
any disruption of Ron DeSantis is so welcome here and everywhere.
He's such an asshole. He had me arrested, y'all. Like, he is
This was in May,
such
right?
an asshole. Was it May? I don't even remember. I've never been in handcuffs in my life. Like, and this fool had me arrested because he wanted me to get out of his office because he didn't want to talk to us. Like, that's so disrespectful.
One of my favorite things about he lifts in his shoes Ron DeSantis is watching the interaction. Was it like a year and a half ago between him and Disney, and him having to back off of Disney, and then instead having to like sneakily get other people put in what were those positions that he had to get people put into in order to actually get Disney to like somewhat do it? Was like the tourism board or something. Oh, how you mess with the mouse like that is crazy.
I know. It's all about power and control for him. Going after a
Isn't there
mouse
like a
is
board of
crazy.
supervisors of Buena Vista, Lake Buena Vista,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had
Uh,
to take, when I was in UF, we took a political science class, and it was like this whole book, a whole semester that we were like studying Disney and how they had their governance and they basically created their own cities. It's just really interesting. You should do a deep dive of like Disney.
as soon as they stop making bottles of water $6 an hour, or an hour, $6, I shouldn't. $6 for a bottle of water is criminal.
It
All
is.
right. That's
It
the
is.
one. If I ever run for office, my only campaign promise is Disney can't charge more than $2 for a bottle of water.
Aren't they now trying to not pay like property taxes or something here?
I don't
Or
think they have. Well,
no, they have. They're like trying to say that their property isn't worth as much money as it is. I believe it's them and Universal, and that's crazy. Like, y'all,
there's no way they
the
don't
corporate greed is
have.
real.
There's no way they don't have the most expensive property in all of Florida. Thank you so much for calling, Julian. Thank you for your call.
Thank you, Julian.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. We still got a bunch of people calling in. Thank you guys for the calls. Let's do
Is this
Tuttle
normal? Should I feel special?
well, I've only ever done one of these with
Oh, dang. You're supposed to just say yes.
I mean, of course, obviously. Oh, you know what I wanted to say? Speaking of the of not knowing where your family's from, I went to the National Museum of African American History, and I was so excited because on like the second or third floor is the library where they will track your genealogy back. They were closed the one day I went.
Oh,
I was
I
so
was about to
sick.
say word. I was like, did they not shut that down?
I was
You
so
know,
sick.
he's coming after everything in that museum.
Yeah, but it's so amazing watching his name get taken off the Kennedy Center. That was so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Tuttle from Missouri, you are on the line with Jovan and Rep Nixon. Tuttle, how are you, and what's your question?
I'm okay. I hope you guys are doing good too. I
Never
wanted
had a
to know,
bad day.
do you think that voter support for Trump is still up? Do you think that politician support for Trump is still up? And if so, why?
So thank you for that question, Tuttle. I think the real issue is that MAGA is just so loud. and people are so afraid to say anything. And because they're so loud and folks are just afraid to speak out, that it seems like there's this overwhelming consensus and support of MAGA. And it actually, that's not the case. Because let's be real, like the MAGA folks, they're hurting too. They are struggling too. But there is not enough dissent and pushback from leadership, especially from the Democratic Party, and they're not going out having conversations. You know, First Lady Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. I'm telling people to go to hell. I'm telling people to get
You
loud.
no, because I get flack all the time because I do not kick it nice. And I tell people they go low, I'm gonna start insulting your children. Like I don't care. I'm not doing it.
But no, we shouldn't go to hell. No, seriously, we should not go to hell with them. What we should do is we should actually not even call them out. We should call them in with love, right? Because a lot of these folks are our neighbors and some of our old friends and family members, and they just got bought. They were sold a bill of goods. Because when you think about it, when Democrats had the majority and the White House, they didn't push through things like free childcare or Medicare or free college, or, you know, they should have just rammed that shit through, right? And so they were sold a bill of goods from Donald Trump because they demonized the left as folks who were ineffective and only said things to get it elected, and they never really did anything because they're always saying, oh, we got to do this and we got to do that. And it's like, no. But you see folks like the mayor in New York, you see folks like the mayor in Baltimore who are actually doing what they said that they were going to do because they can actually do it. But they're not beholden to these special interest groups. They're only beholden to the people. And so what we need to do is we need to go out and have conversations with these people and really talk to them about the issues that they care about and let them know that, like, MAGA is not the way. MAGA is one of the reasons that their situations are so bad, and they actually exacerbated it. And so when I've been able to get Republicans and MPAs to actually change their party affiliation to actually, you know, say they're going to vote for me in this primary. Some are even volunteering on my campaign. And that's because I also call out the Democratic Party and I also vote against sometimes what the Democrats, the corporate Democrats want if it's going to harm hardworking people. And so that's why we're seeing all of this hemming and hawing by so many of these establishment Dems this past week, because they're upset that this young buck, Zoran Mamdani, right? This young buck in New York is actually implementing his campaign promises, and he's doing that shit quick, fast, and in a hurry. And he's making them look bad. And now it's like it's pulling the curtain out, showing that the Democrats, some of these Democrats, these establishment Democrats, they like my husband says, they are the different wings on the same bird, because they take the same money, the same insurance company money. They take the same private prison money. They take the same big corporation money that many of the Republicans take. And so we can actually win elections and change our country for the better and actually build a new vision for our country. Because right now, I don't know if y'all realize it, but democracy is falling here in our country, and our country will never be the same. So right now we have the opportunity to build something very, very different, right? And if we elect the right people, and I see someone saying that we are not, that Democrats are not the on the same bird. There are some Democrats that are on the same bird, and I'm not demonizing all of Democrats, but there are some Democrats that are on the same birds. There are some Democrats who have not said anything about TPS and Haitians potentially being sent back to Haiti, right? So like, let's be real. And no, this rhetoric does not help Republicans. This rhetoric helps galvanize people who've been sitting on the sidelines who don't feel like they have someone that's worth fighting, that's there fighting for them. And so this rhetoric is like we can't continue this respectability politics. And there's nothing wrong with me critiquing Democrats. I worked for the party. Let's be clear. I was the vice chair of the DEC because I'm looking at this in the chat as though I don't like the party. I'm critical of America because I want America to be great, and I can be critical of the party because I want the party to be great as well. And so, sorry, I get a little passionate when it comes to that.
No, you're good. Also, remember, a lot of people in chat are people that outwardly hate us. Like, for instance, and I'm gonna call you out to your face, Ludwig, you piece of garbage, sitting over here. White people don't have to like you, and they're not racist. You should just give white people peace. Ludwig, mods, I don't know why he's even allowed to speak. You know I hate that motherfucker. Mute his ass in chat. I've said it time and time again. Until he's brave enough to call in, he could take his little capitulating self somewhere else. Look, there he is again. Shut up, Ludwig, you ugly. But no, I agree with you. First of all, can we talk about the amazingness that is Trump getting handed his ass today in the Supreme Court over and over again? He's been getting his ass handed to him. But no, I'm very critical of the Democratic Party. Which is why I ask the questions I do to anybody that shows up at the start, because I'm like, you supporting Israel? You sending money to Israel? You supporting us people not dying? Are you supporting all these things? But I also recognize that, like, hey, less of my people die when Democrats are in office. Just kind of the reality of the world. I'd rather not see my people die, you know?
No, you're totally right about that. But also, like, we shouldn't just try to keep the status quo either. We should actually be pushing for transformative change to actually help our people. Like, let's be real. Like, and again, I do not represent the party. I represent the people. And like, I don't understand what is wrong. Like, people are criticizing the mayor of New York City, but he's around here freezing rents, providing free childcare, and lowering crime. Like, why are we upset about that?
Got that free childcare pushed through within like weeks. Within weeks of getting elected, he had it done.
And that would help regular, hardworking, everyday people. There are too many people that I've traveled across the state and had conversations with who are saying things like, that they can't afford to send their children to early childhood daycare centers because it costs too much money. And so here in the state of Florida, childcare can range from $800 a month all the way up to like $2,400 is something that I'm hearing as well. And so I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is.
And like somebody in chat was like, but what about like the 1993 Clinton crime bill? Yeah, how many black people were in office? But first of all, everybody voted for the crime bill, Democrats and Republicans. How many of them were black? That's what I want you to tell me. The answer is not many. So like, we can't look at the party today and compare it to the party in 1993. That's 33 years ago. They're two different things. You know what party is still similar though? Republicans. Matthew, who is from Florida, is calling in with a question. Matthew, do you happen to know what district you're in, Matthew?
What congressional district?
You don't have to say. I just realized that would dox your shit. Don't tell us. You don't have to tell us.
Oh,
Don't worry about that.
I am within Central Florida, Seminole County area. But
RW.
yes, hello.
What's your question, Matthew?
My question is in regards to colonialism, like you were mentioning before, and Puerto Rico. I am passionate about Puerto Rican independence, and I believe that is the true progressive option. but that there, is a lot of rhetoric around statehood. I believe statehood is imperialism. I believe statehood leads to more Jake Pauls coming to Puerto Rico and buying up like real estate like crazy. And I want to know if Representative Nixon here would be willing to, in Congress, support independence for Puerto Rico, like we did that of the Philippines beforehand, which was also taken by the U.S. at the same time as Puerto Rico during the Spanish-American War.
So thank you for your question, Matthew. And so I want folks to know that I am going to be the U.S. Senator for Florida, but I also want folks to know that like I support whatever it is that Puerto Ricans want. So if they want statehood, they can have statehood. I will push for statehood. But if they want independence, they can have independence. I believe in self-determination. I don't believe that we should go into other people's countries and tell them what they deserve and what they need to do. So yes, if they want independence, let's go for it. I am all for that, and we need to make sure we are pushing to make that happen. I just really hate the privatization of governmental agencies and different things, and I just don't like that because that leaves room for exploitation and corporations just taking over, just similarly to what you just stated. And so we are totally in alignment with that.
Yeah, we need to not be America needs to not
Colonizers.
literally. We need to like let these play like and on that vein, free Cuba, free Cuba, free the Congo, free Sudan, free all of them. Like the American imperial arm is killing everybody. So maybe we don't do that anymore. I know it seems like the easiest thing to say is like, hey, let's not do that. But like a lot of people still want to do that. We did get a question before I forget it. I got a question from Spencer who said, I can't call, but if there's time, can you ask Rep Nixon's stance on term limits?
So I am so supportive of term limits. I am not supportive of age limits. And the reason I'm not supportive of age limits is because I believe that there are some elders who have a breadth of knowledge for us, right? But I do believe we need to have term limits because I just don't, it's not cool for people to pass away in office. Like it doesn't we shouldn't normalize that. Like we definitely need term limits. We need diverse thought and diverse ideas. And so the way in which we get that is by setting term limits and cycling some people out. Yes, we need term limits on judges too. I also believe in expanding the courts. I don't want to expand the courts until after we have a good president in office, though. So I want to be clear about that. But I do believe in expanding the courts and term limits on Supreme Court justices as well.
I would do anything for Supreme Court justice, because not even just Supreme Court, all judges. Like, it's insane how much judges get to the end of their careers and just start phoning it in. And then so many people suffer because of it. So let's worry about that. Mods, let's be catching people a little bit quicker in chat today. I shouldn't have to do it. YouTube is a hell pit. You know what? Let's just look at Twitch comments. YouTube's a hellscape right now.
That PC 19, that person is, yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead, call them out.
No, 1901. I don't know. It sounds like you are not very happy with folks on the left.
Oh, well, YouTube is primarily conservatives hate watching me. Twitch is where all our lovely boo-boos are. Let's grab Nina, who's also from Florida, for a question. Nina, calling from Florida. You are on with Jovan and Rep Angie Nixon. What is your question, Nina?
Hey, Jovan. Hey, Angie, Representative. My question has to do with around the primary, and if there's anywhere we can watch debates with the primary opponents, and then what kind of help you need right now up until August 18th. Thank you.
Yeah, so for sure. So thank you for that question, Nina. So I have accepted all debates from the news stations. I've accepted debates and forum requests from countless organizations that were affiliated with the party and some that were just community groups unaffiliated with the party. And unfortunately, my primary opponent has not. And so we've gotten word that from multiple people, multiple sources stating that my primary opponent does not want to be in the same room with me, and does not want to be on the same stage as me. And, you know, it's kind of disrespectful. But we realize that I've been someone who's been on the ground here in the state of Florida, and I know the people of the state of Florida and what they're up against. And unfortunately, I don't think it's the case for him. And so I understand why he may not feel as comfortable having a debate against me, but the people deserve to hear from both of us. That the people deserve to hear how he feels on issues related to TPS, right? How he feels on immigration. The people deserve to know how he feels as it relates to public education and privatized prisons, and as well as Israel. There was actually, I just saw recently, he made some statements about 2 years ago stating that Muslims were inherently anti-Semitic, and people need to know if he still feels that way.
He knows that most Muslims are Semitic people, right?
I'm just going by the podcast that he was on. And so, like, folks, voters need to hear if that's how he feels and how he's grossly mischaracterized an entire group of people. And so, yeah, I'm just I'm interested. But also, like, if folks want to learn more about me, they can go to angienixon.com. They can sign up. We are taking volunteers. We need people to knock on doors, make phone calls, jump in Twitch streams and on lives and all the things, and be
You guys can
supportive of my
scan.
candidacy. But yeah, no, and also make a donation if you can. Like, we are a grassroots people power campaign. Our average donation is $20. And so we really need your support. And tomorrow is the 30th. That's the last day before that's the last day of our quarter. And so really would love folks to join our people power campaign and make a donation if they can. It's 67 counties. It's 67 counties in the state. 67. I'm acting like my daughter. I have a 5-year-old. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, brain ride. And I'm like, what? But 67. I'm looking at, what is this? What is this that you're typing on right now?
Oh, this is my Discord. I'm messaging my
Okay.
screeners and my mods.
Okay.
Really quick, Coda had a question and asked, how does Rep Nixon feel about trans rights?
Trans rights are human rights.
Wait, say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Oh, they didn't hear it. Trans
they did.
rights. Or are you about to like do some type of
I
sound
got
effect?
sound effect. Yeah. Say it one more time.
Trans rights are human rights.
Hey. I love that sound effect. I
Hey.
misuse that sound effect way too much.
Yeah,
Way too much. I misuse
trans
that.
rights are human rights. I am me and Senator Tracy Davis, for the past 2 years, we have sponsored the Freedom to Learn Act, which would allow children to be able to use their pronouns in school, as well as teachers. It would allow the teaching of true history, which would include LGBTQIA history. It would allow for teachers to not be able to out their students to their parents for protection. And so, yeah, I am supportive of trans rights.
That means y'all need to scan that QR code on the screen. Scan that QR code. Wait, I can get it right here. Scan that QR code. You can get to Rep Nixon's website and show support.
Yeah. $20. Listen, I'm driving a van. It takes $100 to fill up that tank. So if you got 5 on it, put 5 on it. I'm trying to be cool. I realize I am an older millennial, y'all. I'm a 80s baby. I was born in 84, and this is all new to me. The closest I've been to something like this is like when I had my Nintendo and was playing Duck Hunt. Why you got real quiet?
I'm not. Well, because one, I'm muted because I don't want to come through your mic. I'm not real quiet. I'm monitoring chat to ask you questions.
Are you being ageist right now?
No, I'm not that much younger. I'm a fresh 33, but I'm still 33. I'm still millennial.
I'm 9 years older than you.
Okay, but like we would have still been in the same school district at the same time. Real quick, Iris from Virginia, come on up. What's your question for Rep Nixon?
Hello. First off, I just wanted to say thank you for supporting my rights. And second, here's my question. What would your plan be, or your idea for redistribution of the wealth from the ultra rich to the rest of everyone else?
Thank you for that. And happy Pride, happy Pride, happy Pride.
2 more days.
I know. It's gonna get less colorful.
All the rainbow merch is gonna disappear.
I know. So what I think needs to happen is we need to roll back that big BS bill. It was not beautiful. It gave all those tax breaks to the wealthy. We need to make sure that they pay their fair share. I am fully supportive of Congressman Connor's and Senator Bernie Sanders' ultra wealth tax. I believe that we need to tax them. I think they were taxing them 6% to ensure that we can make sure we are paying our teachers a living wage. I also am supportive of things like the PRO Act, allowing union member, former union organizer here. I believe that folks should have the right to organize and create unions, build their unions. And we need to make sure that we increase the federal minimum wage. Right now, it's $7.25. I believe we need to get to a point where we are like $26, $30 minimum wage. I am a small business owner, so I think we can do some incremental steps similar to like how we did it each year here in the state of Florida, but maybe do something quarterly till we're able to arrive at that level. But we need to make sure that these companies, these corporations aren't exploiting their workers. The fact that Walmart does not pay their employees what they need to be paid, but then they have workshops. They have workshops with them, teaching them how to access benefits.
They're the largest employer in the country of
EBT
people on
benefits.
welfare. Yeah.
And then but they get corporate welfare themselves, and they're profiting billions of dollars. How dare you profit billions of dollars and you're not paying your workers?
I talk about it all the time too, because they triple dip. Walmart triple dips. They get the money from people spending like SNAP benefits at them. They get the corporate write-offs for employing people who are on welfare benefits. Then they get to not pay their people enough so that they need the welfare benefits. Well, they're just triple dippers. But in capital, we're the problem. We're us non-work like us. We're the problem. The workers are the problem. Nah, man.
Walmart is the problem. So why you bought that gun from Walmart?
I plead the fifth. Capitalism. There is no. Wait, what's the quote? There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. No matter where I shop.
It is so funny because my brother, he drives me because he's like this big 6'5" black dude, and like I need security because people are crazy right now. So he drives me around the state, and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to go to Chick-fil-A." I'm like, "Nope, we can't go there." And then I'm like,
okay, but you want to know what's crazy?
"I'm gonna go here." I'm like, "Nope, we can't go there." He was like, "It's white supremacy everywhere, Angie. That's white supremacy. That's white supremacy. I gotta be able to eat somewhere."
No, you want to know what's crazy though? The people I know in my personal life who eat Chick-fil-A the most are my queer friends. I have never met someone like the homophobic chicken as much as my friends who are in the LGBTQ community. Somebody asked a question, and I'm actually interested in the answer too, because we had Marielana Kinter on what was that, like a month and a half ago, give or take. And this was a good conversation we had with her when she was on here. I am a prison and police abolitionist. What are your thoughts in general on the state of like prison and policing in our country right now?
Yeah, so I think it definitely needs to be reformed. I think there needs to be community control of the police. We need to have review boards and all the things like they work for us. I had to, I went off on the sheriff of Jacksonville. I was like, your officers are so rude and disrespectful. They need to have Walt Disney World customer service. If more officers were actually nice, they could de-escalate a lot of things. But I do also believe that we need to end the privatization of prisons, for-profit prisons, and we actually need to work on comprehensive criminal justice reform, and we need to look at rehabilitating people, right, and not just doing punitive things, and also really working to address the root cause of crime. The root cause of crime is it has a lot to do with people lacking money, right? Like affordability, poverty, the lack of education. And so those are definitely those are my thoughts around that.
Now we're almost out of time, right, Steve?
Let me check. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Hold up. Let me see where I'm going next.
I do want to point out a chat message that made me laugh. Somebody said with Chick-fil-A, someone said they can taste the hatred for them in the chicken. But it's also mid. Chat, Chick-fil-A is the most mid. Popeyes is where it's at. Popeyes, or you know what actually slaps? You know what actually slaps? Bojangles chicken sandwich is fire.
It is not. No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
no, it's
I'm getting called
not.
out all over the place today. But I'm talking about a fast food chicken sandwiches. Obviously, if I could go to like a place that's like making a decent chicken sandwich, I'm gonna go that first. But I'm saying if I got to get fast food, I'm getting Popeyes or Bojangles. I'm not going to KFC.
What's wrong with KFC?
Oh, KFC's chicken is gross. Oh, it's disgusting. Terrible.
You've been disrespecting me all day.
You would rather KFC over this is the real debate. You'd rather KFC over Popeyes?
It depends. It depends. And KFC has vegetables. As I get to my old age, I need to be able to access
But I'm just talking
string
about
beans. They brought the string beans back.
I'm just
Okay.
talking about whose chicken sandwich is better.
You gotta think of it holistically. It's not just about the chicken. I need some nutrition, not just the fried stuff. I need some vegetables.
Nick from Texas. You're on for a question with Rep Angie Nixon. Before you ask your question, just tell us KFC or Popeyes.
Popeyes for sure.
All right, you don't get a chat ban today. What's your question, Nick?
I appreciate both you guys hosting and answering all the questions. I'll make it quick for time. I appreciated your generic stance on immigration, but I wanted to know, how should we hold ICE agents and the people in power who support them and blatantly lie on behalf of them to let everyone know that like what they're doing is horrible and should never happen again?
Thank you for that question. I don't think my question on immigration, my response was generic, but I think we need to hold them accountable. They need to be arrested and they need to be tried in a court of law and found
Locked up.
guilty and serve time. Like they're killing people, right? Also, Chrissy Nome, she stole money, basically. Yeah, I mean, she didn't
much money.
she didn't steal it. She gave a contract to someone to do videos, but basically she stole money from DHS. And so like they all need to be held accountable. I'm all for Congress impeaching the majority of all of those folks, those Trump folks, not the majority of them, all of them. They appointed that are doing wrong. They need to be impeached and removed. And then they need to be tried in a court of law. Especially Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi.
Palm Bondi.
Pam Bondi. I can't. She's a Floridian. That is so embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Pam Bondi, Ashley Moody, Donald Trump. These are all Floridians right now. I'm so embarrassed.
But like Donald Trump,
It don't
He's a
matter. He's here.
transplant.
He's here now, and it's like it's so
It's
disrespectful.
because he got ran out of New York. They didn't like him there anymore, and he was tired of being somewhere where nobody liked him.
Trash.
Somebody brought up Dave's hot chicken. I will give you Dave's hot chicken is probably better than both Popeyes
You know
and
what? It
KFC.
was really good. I had it for the first time because my daughter, my 19-year-old, told me to go try it. But then she ate it the other day at another location and she was like, I'm so fed up, Mom. I wasted my money. So I don't know. It might be hit or miss.
It's like Burger King. Like, I don't think Burger King is good, but like, if you go to a Burger King in certain places, it's going to be the worst food you've ever tasted. You got to go to a Burger King where the employees at least give a damn. If the employees don't care, Burger King is going to be the worst chicken you've ever had, or the worst food you've ever had.
Yes, AJ Kitson. Yes, you can definitely support me from a different state. If you go to angienixon.com, you can sign up at angienixon.com. You can become, what you pointing at? I'm so confused. Oh, the QR code. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, what is happening? I'm like, what is he doing? So yes, go to angienixon.com and you can sign up to make phone calls, make donations, also share our stuff, let people know. Some of y'all know people with deep pockets. I need some donations to my campaign so that we can continue to get the word out.
If we had a way to verify it, what like chat, we could get like $200 in campaign donations right now, right? At least bare minimum, you could do $200, right, chat?
Minimum.
Bare minimum, you could do $200, right, chat?
That's 2 tanks of gas.
I know that's right. I just got a GMC and that thing is not good on gas. Griffin calling from Arizona with a question. Griffin, you're on with Jovan and Rep Nixon. What's your question, friend?
Hi, thanks so much for taking my call. I did hear Representative Nixon's views on trans rights, and as a trans woman myself, I love hearing that. But specifically, I would be interested to hear your thoughts on children's access to transgender healthcare, such as access to therapy, puberty blockers, and later HRT.
Thank you for that question, Griffin. I believe trans children have a higher rate of suicide. I think it's like 4 times more likely to commit suicide. And so I'm supportive of whatever it is that they need to make sure that they stay here with us on this earth. So I'm supportive of that.
Hey, thank you so much for your question, Griffin.
I'm sorry, y'all. I am not what you call a politician or a typical politician. Like I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a community organizer. I'm just someone who happens to be an elected official who is running for a higher office because I believe that hardworking everyday people should get to shape what their communities look like and what their economies look like. And right now, the people that are shaping what our communities and our economies look like don't look like the people in those communities and economies, or they don't have the same amount of money as the people in those communities and economies. They are very much super wealthy. And so we need to just have regular hardworking folks put in these roles. They know what we go through. Like they're not going to be out of touch. If you know someone, if you have someone who understands what it's like to struggle, understand what it's like to walk outside their house like me and see that my car is gone and think someone stole my car and then realize that no, your girl's car got repossessed. This happened to me some years ago, but it's like it got repossessed because I had to make a decision whether or not I was going to pay for my daughter's albuterol medicine for asthma, her EpiPen, and make sure she had food on the table. And so it's things like that, I want to elect people who understand what it's like to struggle and how to get out of it, or even just understand what it's like to struggle. Like, can you imagine if we elected, again, and I stated this earlier, we elected construction workers. They will be pushing to make sure there are things like heat protections. Right here in the state of Florida, it's legal to not provide water breaks for your construction employees, even if they're on roofs. And the reason it's legal to do that is because the developers went ahead and gave money to these candidates and these elected officials, and they preempted heat protections that certain local municipalities try to put in place, right? If we started electing single parents, we would definitely have things like free childcare because they know what it's like, or just parents in general, right? If we started electing people who have lived in affordable housing units or Section 8, right? I'm sure we would have more access to affordable housing units. But right now, what we see is we have a lot of people with net worths that are over the national average by like 2 and 3 times.
You
And
know
so
what?
that's what we're suffering from right now.
You know what we really need to also get worked on here in Florida, especially, is this stupid rule that you can only give out food in public parks like 3 times a year. The people who made that rule, I want to hit them. Sorry.
The people that made that rule, they don't want to see the issue that they fail to address time and time again. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they want to put up this facade as though everything's okay. They don't want to see the fact that the way capitalism is right now is disrupting people's quality of life. And I'm not saying that I'm anti-capitalism by no means, and I'm not saying that I am for it by no means. But what I'm saying right now is like it's not working. The way in which the system is operating right now, there are winners and losers, and the majority of people in this country are losing. But the thing is, it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. Like, we can change the trajectory of our country. We can change, we have the opportunity right now, as all of these institutions are being actively destroyed. We have the opportunity to build a new vision for our country. One where every family has stability, every worker has dignity, and every young person has the opportunity to reach the true American dream. We all want the same things. That's to be healthy, to be prosperous, to be safe, to experience joy, to experience rest. And we need to stop electing people who are okay with what's happening right now. Yes, we do need some bipartisanship, right? Like, that's the only way we're going to get some things done. But we also have to recognize that the leadership in Washington right now that are Republicans, they don't care about us. They are actively trying to harm our communities. They are actively trying to kill people, and they're okay with it. And so we can't send people to Washington, D.C. that are going to just write strongly worded emails and strongly worded letters. We got to send people there that are going to be able to disrupt things right now.
This is why I hate this stupid framing that everybody does where it's like the people on the right, this stupid, like the left is all about political violence nonsense when like they don't talk about the massive political violence that is coming from these people in Washington that are harming these communities and killing these communities. Like, that's not a form of political violence that happens daily.
It is straight up violence. And then they like to call us violent, like Black people, they like to call Black people violent a lot. And then it's like, but y'all are trying to ban the teaching of true history when Ruby Bridges was walking to school and there were white people yelling and screaming and spitting on this girl. Like, why can't we teach that right now? Like, they're trying to actually like whitewash history, and it's so gross. And we're seeing it right now in real time, and the only way that we can change these things again is by sending unapologetic, bold leadership to Washington, D.C., to Tallahassee, to all of these local municipal governments to push back and to actually put forth an agenda that is decided and influenced and shaped by hardworking people like y'all that are watching here today.
And not like the Ruby Bridges thing is like, like they talk about her like she's not
Still
still alive.
alive.
Like, she's not only 71 and still a working activist who's fighting for all the same things.
She is 1 year older than my mom.
And this is
She's
the pro
1 year older than my mom.
it's the revisionism of this happened so long ago. You guys still care
No,
about all
it
these
didn't.
things that happened so long ago. Like, what? She's on Instagram. Ruby Bridges is on
Branch said she
Instagram.
has a whole Instagram account. Yes, Ruby Bridges has a whole Instagram account that she oversees and posts on. And so it is hers. So she's here. Like this stuff is very recent. And now we're seeing it come back. Like they are literally trying to return us back to the worst chapters of our history. And I'm not with it. I'm not comfortable that at the fact that my grandma had to fight, my mama had to fight, I'm having a fight, and my daughter are having to fight for the same things. And now y'all think I have a 5-year-old. I don't want her to have to fight the same fights as well. So absolutely not.
This is the best call. This is from Where Are the Epstein Files? Calling in from Illinois. Hey, where are the Epstein Files? I agree. Same question. What's your question that you have for Rep Nixon?
Okay. Hi. So I'm a realist, and my grandfather was a slave. I mean, he grew up on a plantation, and his mother was a slave. And I knew my great grandmother. And now we are going through the same things over and over. The system is working exactly how it's supposed to work. We see Jim Crow 2.0 going into the streets right now. Nothing is getting done because people are complicit. The facade of 250 years, the experiment is over with. It's done. We failed. What does it look like for the next steps? Because we can talk big game like, oh, we want free healthcare, we want this. We've always had these options. They've always been turned down because people don't want Black people to have them. So what does that look like to you?
So thank you for this question. And what it looks like is simply like what I've been saying, right? Like it looks like us creating a multiracial working class and making sure that leadership is reflective of that multiracial working class, right? It looks like we are electing just regular hardworking everyday people. We don't continue to elect corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans. We don't continue to elect folks who are beholden to the consultant class and these corporations. We elect people who are only beholden to hardworking everyday people like you who just called. Like, you know, yes, we are returning back to the worst chapters of our past. However, it is bad right now, but it is not bad as it was. And so I know for so many people right now that their North Star is despair and their North Star is gray, but my North Star is colorful. And I am a living, breathing, walking testament as someone who is a direct descendant of people that were stolen from their country, stripped of their native tongue, threatened to be killed if they learned to read, bludgeoned if they practice their native spirituality. Like I'm a living, breathing testament that when you cling to hope, even in your darkest moments, like change can actually happen because I'm literally my ancestors' wildest dreams. You, caller, you're your ancestors' wildest dreams. Your great grandparents who you said were enslaved here, they couldn't have even imagined what you're doing right now. And so I would be very disrespectful, borderline spitting on their graves and the hard work that they've done if I don't continue to fight and push back. Like, but we also have to know that we can't allow these corporations and this consultant class to continue to divide us because division is profitable for them because it keeps our eyes off the fact that they are the ones, these greedy billionaires and these corporations that, again, are padding the campaign coffers of these elected officials and telling them what to do. They are the ones that are telling them to, no, let's keep pushing back the age of Social Security. No, we are not going to want you to pass Medicare for all because it's going to eat into my bottom line. And so that is why I am saying we have to be accomplices and not just passive allies in this fight right now. We got to be accomplices, and we have to organize and strategize just like our elders who are still alive did, right? Like all of this, our backs on the wall and this frustration and these moments of despair, that all happens right before movement is birthed, right? Like civil rights movement, the labor movement, right? The women's right movement. They felt despair and like almost hopeless, but they kept going. They didn't give up. And what I would say to people who feel like giving up right now is that like don't cede your power. This is our power. Like, I'm not going to allow somebody to determine the direction of my country. This is my country. I deserve to be here as much as the folks who are running it deserve to be here. And I also deserve to help lead and push in a certain direction of our country.
May I ask another question
Yeah.
to follow up with that? I hear what you are saying, and I do agree. I agree, but it has been a very long time, and propaganda has shown that people are very anti-black. They were anti-black yesterday. They're gonna be anti-black tomorrow. How are we going to change the anti-blackness when now they're introducing AI? We have social media to push the agenda. They're already Asian people disliking. There's Hispanic people who are showing dislike towards Black people. How are we as people supposed to be progressing when it's really going to be we're going to let you join right now because we need you, but once it's over, what is that going to look like?
And so I have to push back against that a little bit too, because like I'm an organizer, right? And again, like that's the division of it, right? Like they want us to think that's happening, right? And it happens a little bit, but not all the time. Like the majority of people, again, like we all want the same things. And as an organizer, we have to go meet people where they are and lean into community and just have conversations with people and develop relationships with people. Like when I look towards folks like Fred Hampton, he realized that we had to no one is free unless we're all free, right? Like that is the truth of the matter. And so again, like this is really, yes, it's race issues, racial issues, right? But it's also like for real, it is a class issue. It is about green to the folks that are in power right now. And we have to have uncomfortable conversations with people that don't look like us and let them know that like they're feeling it too. And the only way we're going to get over this is like if we join together and be in solidarity with one another. And I am someone who is I love Black people because I am Black. I am very pro Black, right? But I love people in general as well. And I do believe like that the Black community, we do need to lean into ourselves and build community amongst each other as well. And like love on each other, right? Because we have been taught to be so divided and hating on each other, but like that was by design. But I am not going to allow again these people to decide like my outlook for my life and for my children's future. And so I'm not going to cede any ground on that. And the shit gets hard all the time. I wake up sometimes and I'm crying. I'm like, damn, I got to do this again. But like my children are worth it. And again, like we got I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. And so like we just got to keep pushing forward.
I love how optimistic you are.
We gotta be, sis. We gotta be.
Thank you so much for your call. Where are the Epstein files? Again, agreed. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? One last call.
Yeah, because I gotta get on the road, y'all.
Yep. Final call, and I think it's a really important one. So Jaya calling from Maryland, you're on with Jovan and Rep Angie Nixon. What's your question, friend?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Jovan, you sound so different on the phone. This is crazy.
What do I sound like?
You just sound just different. But Representative Nixon, I have a quick question. My sister lives in Florida, and I'm doing my due diligence. What is your stance on AI data centers being built down there?
Yeah, I think there needs to be a moratorium on them, right? There's not enough information in regards to all the impacts environmentally that it has on our communities, as well as it has on like people in general. I was born and raised on a Brownsville dump. So before they built my grandmother's house, they used to burn trash in an incinerator and they would dump it in this area and they wind up building houses and they sold those homes to Black people. And my brother was born, he was born in Texas, but my mom had lived at my grandma's house for a while. And while she was pregnant, she wound up leaving and going to Texas. And my brother was born with one kidney and with cancer. His cancer is in remission and it's going away. But it's like, I believe that had a direct impact, her being around in that area, in that soil, had a direct impact on my brother being born with one kidney. The EPA had to come in and clean it up. They actually gave us money and everything, but it's like I am very cautious when things like that, when corporations come into communities and potentially like could be devastating, leave devastating impacts, right? And so more research needs to be done in regards to their effects. Also, like I think they're taking too much water up. That's only going to create a demand, and that's only going to cause regular folks to have higher water bills and electricity bills. It's also going to deplete some of the water from our aquifer. Our aquifer is a much needed resource, our greatest filtration system here in the state of Florida, and we don't need to be doing any damage to it at all.
All right, guys, that's
What
all.
does LUL mean?
It's like a laugh, lol, lol, lol,
Oh, okay.
like internet laugh speak.
Okay, I didn't understand.
Guys, that's all the time we have with Rep Nixon today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I think this was great. I think chat, make sure you go angienixon.com. Go and
Follow me.
support.
Follow me on social media, Angie4FL, Angie4FL.
Every chat, do your job. Do your job. Get to it, chat. Don't make me chastise you. Angie, thank you so
Somebody's
much.
probably gonna clip one of these and put it out and try to do like op research on it. But I stand by everything I say, y'all. Again, I'm not even supposed to be an elected official. I'm just a union organizer that moved up the ranks and got people to vote for me. And so, yeah, we need more. We need more
Yes,
organizers.
we
There
sure
was
do.
another organizer who became the president, and he was Black.
You got those aspirations?
Absolutely not.
Angie, thank you again for coming on. Everybody, I'll be on later tonight. That's all for stream. I'll see you guys later, 9:30 after dark stream. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah, that's when I go when it's late. I call it, there's no change. It's just I'm there when I should be sleeping. No. Same content. I just should be asleep.